Several massive things have happened in the last 12 hours. Two that we're going to be hyper-focusing on. One of them is the fact that the American Olympic team is now walking back, at least the woke people are walking back and begging for mercy for the comments that they made that were anti-American. And even American veterans are speaking up about this, going, it's just disgraceful that you have athletes representing the United States that are saying this type of crap. So make sure you stick around for the video to watch that part. And we have to talk about Turning Point USA and how they made the NFL bleed millions, if not billions of dollars. This is absolutely insane. Let's get right into it. All I ask in return is for you guys to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this video. Starting things off with the Secretary of War absolutely getting a standing ovation when he made a speech. Look at that. True American patriotism.
No more dudes in dresses.
No more dudes in dresses. Look at that.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name.
Look at that. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is enlisting some people.
The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. Foreign and domestic.
And then we have to take a brief look at what happened with this military action. So the United States went and seized another oil tanker that they believed was smuggling oil from potentially Venezuela to Russia. There it is. In the early mornings of this morning, they went and they took over the oil tanker. And even Russian foreign ministers they've gone on camera. They've done press conferences earlier today and said it's not right what America is doing to control the global economy. Yeah, I mean, it's just about time that America's unleashing its true might and its true powers of truly being the world's police force. In order for the world to be not blowing each other up, this is what needs to happen. So kudos to America and all of the special forces, military personnel that were a part of this mission.
From the War Department, we salute Turning Point USA and every American who still believes freedom is worth defending. Thank you for your courage as an organization, your clarity, and your leadership, and for this halftime show that the War Department is proud to support.
I don't know which halftime show you guys watched, but I was watching this with my family, and we turned off the Super Bowl to switch over to Turning Point USA. And it was pretty freaking incredible, the results that came out of Turning Point USA. I mean, right now you have 20 million views on the YouTube live stream alone. That doesn't include Charlie Kirk's channel. It doesn't include all the restreams on Rumble and all of that good stuff. 20 million views on the official Turning Point USA halftime show, the All-American halftime show. And then the NFL's obviously got a big boost now that people are watching it all around the world. But so far it's got 26 million views. So if you include what Charlie Kirk's channel has in addition to Turning Point USA, I mean, it's pretty even, Steven, probably even more views from the Turning Point USA side of things. So that's absolutely insane that Turning Point USA has made the NFL bleed like that. And now we're going to get into the fact that the woke athletes representing Team USA are apologizing for being anti-American. But before we do, I have a message from today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Madero Mining Corporation. Ticker symbols are on the screen. And as always, this is not financial advice. Make sure to do your own research. You've probably noticed a lot more attention being paid to rare earths lately, especially as global tensions rise and defense spending ramps up. And there's actually a specific reason for that. Modern weapon systems, missiles, fighter jets, radars, drones, that all depends on rare earth minerals. For decades, the West outsourced much of that supply chain largely to China because it was cheaper and easier. That strategic decision is now being reevaluated, which is why you're hearing lots of talks about Greenland. This is where Madero Mining comes in. Madero is advancing a rare earth project in central Sweden, one of the most important rare earth minerals on Earth. It's also where cobalt was first identified. Historically, the region was mined for iron, while rare earths and other critical metals were largely ignored because they weren't considered strategically important at the time. There's over 6,000 meters of historic drill core already completed, which helps reduce early exploration risk. Madero has now consolidated over 11 700 hectares in the district and is using modern exploration methods to generate new drill targets. From a market's perspective, Madero is still a small cap company with a relatively tight share structure. If you want to learn more, Madero Mining's ticker symbols are once again on the screen. You'll find more information linked down below in the description and the pinned comment. Madero Mining, thanks again for sponsoring today's video. Let's get right into the shall we? Starting off with a veteran who says, I was in the military for 2 decades, nearly all of it in special operations. It was an honor and a privilege to serve this great country, the American people, and defend the Constitution. I've lost more teammates in combat than I can count on both hands ×3. We proudly went overseas and risked death for America, for freedom, and mostly for each other. Some of us didn't come home. When I see a snot-nosed punk bitch like Hunter Hess on the U.S. ski team bad-mouthing our country, it makes my blood boil. Kick this narcissistic turd off the ski team immediately. Tear the U.S. flag off his puffy jacket and send this loser back to Bend so he can smoke bowls and badmouth his country to his loser friends instead. He has no business representing the United States of America. And you can see this post is already starting to go viral. I mean, that's absolutely insane. But here's where it gets very interesting. You actually have that guy, Hunter Hess, took to, I think it's Instagram, and he said this. Hunter Hess 10, I love my country. There is so much that is great about America, but there are always things that could be better. One of the many things that makes this country so amazing is that we have the right and the freedom to point that out. The best part of the Olympics is that it brings people together, and when so many of us are divided, we need that more than ever. I cannot wait to represent Team USA next week when I compete. Thanks to everyone for their support. So he's now walking back his original comments that he made in this video right here.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't.
Yeah, but that's not your place to talk about that. You're there as an athlete. You're representing the United States. It's not about political divide, and this is what weirdos on the left do. They say, I really hate how it's so divisive. Let me use this time right now to make it more divisive. Brother, you have the flag on your shoulder. You're an American. You don't have to agree with what's happening. You also don't have to talk about what's happening either. I understand that it's your First Amendment right to do so, but just because you're allowed to do it doesn't mean that you should do it. And there is always going to be a pull to the push that you do. And right now, you're very much in the crosshairs of being canceled. So he did walk his comments back, as you can see from the text on the left side of the screen. So I just want to pass a question off to you. How do you feel about that? Is that satisfactory for you? Do you want to see more from him? Do you want to see more of an apology? Let me know what you guys think down below. I think we are going to see more athletes apologize because more athletes from Team USA are speaking out against the evil American taxpayers that are paying for their lifestyle. Let's have a look at this chick.
Obviously, my parents being immigrants, this one definitely hits pretty close to home. And I think in moments like these, it is really important for us to unite and kind of stand up for one another, for all that's going on. And I think that I'm really proud to represent the United States. The U.S. has given my family and I so much opportunity, but I also think that we are allowed to voice our opinions on what's going on, and I think that we need to lead with love and compassion.
Yeah, but you're also there as an athlete to represent your country by being an athlete. We don't care about your political opinions. That's not why you're representing the United States where you are. You're not a commentator. You're not an activist. We don't care about that stuff. You're literally there to compete, right? In your whatever sport you won in. So in the, just to quote a previous famous line, hey, LeBron, just shut up and dribble. And then there's some very bizarre footage that's been surfacing from the Super Bowl halftime show where you can see people, they're like not really dancing. Only, very few people have been dancing to the Bad Baby or Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show, probably because it was in freaking Spanish instead of English? I mean, what the hell were they thinking? Oh my goodness. That right there is not the reaction you should have from a crowd of 70,000 people during the Super Bowl halftime show. I mean, that's just totally pathetic, right? Look at this. I mean, nobody's dancing. Nobody's doing anything. They're all just standing there. It's so bizarre. The whole thing was super weird. I did see it afterwards. I just saw clips of it. And I mean, the guy performed for the camera, not for the people in the stadium, or a hybrid of both. Plus, it was in Spanish. I don't even know what the hell he was saying. I mean, sure, Lady Gaga was there. Good for her, I suppose, and some other celebrities. But I didn't know what the hell he was saying. The majority of Americans didn't know what the hell he was saying. It was super weird. So, again, I hope you tuned into the Turning Point USA halftime show. Let's just stop the wokeness, shall we? Let's just stop the wokeness and get back to the roots. Let's just get back to the roots of Christian nation, God first, country, family, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Hit the like, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys in another video. Bye for now.